for this first problem, first three problems we're going to do with substitution. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to plug it right in there for y, since it says y equal. If it said x equals, we would have done the other one. So 2 times negative x minus 2 equals negative 4x. When I distribute the 2, negative 2x minus 4 equals negative 4x. So I'm going to solve this for x like we would any other equation. Negative 4 equals negative 2x divided by negative 2, and 2 equals x. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this 2 and plug it back into this, what we substituted. And negative 2 minus 2 is negative 4. So my answer for this problem is 2, negative 4. Okay, for problem number 2, this time I have x equals, so I'm going to put y minus 5 into that. So I got 6y minus 5 minus y equals 0. Distribute, and we get 6y minus 30 minus y equals 0. 6y minus y is 5y. Add the 30 to the other side. 5y is equal to 30, which means that y is equal to 6. That is going back into the box that I substituted. So x equals 1. So I got 1 comma 6. For problem number 3, which is the last of the substitution problems, I'm going to take the 6yx plus 1 and plug it in there for y. So we get 12x minus 2 times 6x plus 1 equals negative 4. Distribute negative 2. And since 12x minus 12x is 0, negative 2 equals negative 4 is no solution, because negative 2 never equals negative 4. Alright, for problems 4, 5, and 6, we're going to do the elimination method. This one's already set up for the elimination. 2x plus 5x is 7x. 1 plus 20 is 21. And then all we have to do is divide by 7. And x is equal to 3. Now I'm going to put this into the bottom equation. So 5 times 3 plus 5y equals 20. You could have put it in either equation. 15 plus 5y equals 20. Subtract 15. 5y equals 5. So y equals 1. For problem number 5, I have to multiply by both equations. There's a lot of different choices. I'm going to multiply the top equation by 2 and the bottom equation by negative 3 in order to eliminate the x's. Because one of them is going to be 6x and the other one is going to be negative 6x minus 15y minus 36. The x's cancel. Negative 19y equals negative 38. Divide both sides by 19. Got those two numbers here from adding going down. And y is equal to 2. We can put it into the bottom equation again. So 2x plus 10 equals 12. Subtract 10. 2x equals 2. So x equals 1. My answer is 1, 2. For this next problem, I can multiply this top equation by 6 or by 3, and this bottom equation by 4 or negative 2. And so whatever works best for you to eliminate what you can. So when I multiply the top equation by 3, I get 12x. When I multiply the bottom equation by 2, I get negative 12x, and so those are going to cancel. In fact, the x's cancel and the y's cancel, so we get 0 equals 0, which means I have infinitely many solutions. Alright, so we have 3 equations with 3 unknowns here. And so what you want to do is you want to hit second negative 1 to get to your matrix menu. And then you want to go over to the edit section, and in your first row you want to have a 1, a negative 2, a negative 3, and a 2. And then you want a negative 3, a 5, a 4, and a 0. And then a 1, a negative 4, a 3, and a 14. So when you get those in, then you're going to hit second mode. Alright, so after you hit second mode, go back to second x negative 1 and go over to math. And then go down to letter B, which says R, R, E, F. And then second x negative 1, enter, enter, and you should see 1, 0, 0, 10, negative 10, 1, 0, 1, 0, negative 6, and 0, 0, 1, 0. Which means we have the answer of negative 10, negative 6, and 0. And that's it for that particular problem. Alright, for this one you're going to go back to the same place and edit your matrix. And it'll say 1, 2, 0, 5, 0, 2, 4, negative 2, and 1, that's a Z right there, 0, negative 5, 11. And when you plug this in, and you do your R, R, E, F of letter A again, you get the answer of negative 9, positive 7, negative 4. Alright, the next two are going to be graphs. So this one I'm going to do in black. I start out down 3 because that's negative 3. And because it is 2 over 1, I'm going to go up 2 over 1. Now, the next thing we need to know is whether this is a solid line or a dotted line. And this one is a solid line. Draw it as straight as you can, because this right here means you have a solid line because of the or equals. And because y is less than, I'm going to shade underneath this line. Now for the y is greater than negative 1/2 x plus 1, I'm going to start at the positive 1, and I'm going to go down 1 over 2. Now this line right here, I'm also drawing as straight as possible, is dotted because there's no or equals. So because there's not that line, and it says the shade greater than, which means I shade up. And so where does the black and the blue meet? Over here on the right hand side. So that's the part I'm going to shade in darker because that is the part that is my answer. For this next problem, doesn't have y equals, so I'm going to start out by subtracting 2x. So I got 3y equals negative 2x plus 6, divided by 3, and I got y is greater than, not equals, negative 2/3 x plus 2. So I'm going to start at the 2, go down 2 over 3, and this time this one is dotted because it's not or equal. And because I see the greater than sign, I'm shading above that line. For 3x minus y is greater than or equal to 2, I'm going to subtract 3x. So I got negative y is greater than negative 3x plus 2. And then I'm going to divide by negative 1. So I got y is, and I flip the sign because if I don't flip the sign when I divide by a negative, I get the wrong equation. So I'm going to start out at negative 2, go up 3 over 1. This time I have a solid line, and I'm less than that line, so we shade underneath. So once again, I'm going to shade this where the black and the blue meet, which is on the right side. Alright, so when we plug in our first equation into y equals ax squared plus bx plus c with the point of 1, negative 2, negative 2 equals a times 1 squared plus b times 1 plus c. So 1 squared is just 1, so we got a plus b plus c equals negative 2. So the top row of my matrix will be 1, 1, 1, negative 2. Then I'm going to plug in 4. So a times 4 squared plus b times 4 plus c. So 16a plus 4b plus c equals 4. So my next part of the matrix is 16, 4, 1, 4. And then finally, the last one is 14 equals a times negative 1 squared plus b times negative 1 plus c. So negative 1 squared is positive 1 minus b, 1a minus 1b plus c equals 14. So 1, negative 1, 1, 14. So that's my answer for A. Put it into the matrix, and then do the RREF. And you get 2, negative 8, and 4. So my equation is y equals 2x squared minus 8x plus 4. Alright, so the last problem says there are 25 coins that are nickels, dimes, and quarters. So nickels plus dimes plus quarters, it's going to be a total of 25. Now they also told us that, so my first row will be 1, 1, 1, 25. My next row is going to be the worth. So 5 cents for a nickel, 10 cents for a dime, and 25 cents for a quarter, which we already know gives us an answer of $4. And so my next line will be 0.05, 0.1, 0.25, and 4. And then the last row says there are twice as many quarters as there are nickels. So in order to balance this equation, there are more quarters, so I need to multiply my nickels by 2. I'm also going to subtract 2n. So my last row, well, negative 2 is for the nickels, dimes isn't in there, 1 for the quarters, and 0 for the rest. So go ahead and put that in your calculator, do the RREF, and you'll find that the number of nickels is 6, the number of dimes is 7, and the number of quarters is 12. And that's it for the review video.